Okay, I think we're live. Don't you love technical difficulties? Hello, and welcome to our Cyber Corner Chat series, How to Hackproof Your Business, 15 Ways to Protect Your Business from a Cyber Attack. My name is Melanie Padron, aka your go-to cybersecurity girl. I'm also the Director of Business Development at IT Architects. We are a managed services provider with a security-first mindset, which it's just one of the things that makes us a little different than some of the other IT shops out there. We focus heavily on proactive cybersecurity to help businesses minimize and avoid damage from cyber attacks. As always, I'm joined by our resident cybersecurity super sleuth, Marcus Trasher. He's also our cybersecurity officer. Marcus, how are you doing today?
Hey, Melanie, I'm doing well. It feels like it's been a couple weeks, so I'm excited to get back into this.
It has. Are you? So let's see. We were out on a little bit of vacation over Memorial Day, and then last week I had some tornadoes blow through my neighborhood. I'm happy to see the sun shining today. I don't know about you, but
absolutely, yeah. I took a walk today. It was great.
Yes. Well, I'm excited to be in the 7th week of this series that has actionable steps businesses can take to protect themselves from cyber attack. So each week we've been discussing one of the 15 topics. And let me just throw this up on the stage here. Here we go. Here are our 15 topics we've been talking through. So as you can see on the infographic, so far we've talked about security assessments, spam email filtering, data encryption, firewalls, computer updates, and passwords. And I think we've given some great real-life analogies to help people understand the many ways that all of these can help protect your business from cyber attack. And if you've missed any of the topics, you can just scroll back through our page and watch them. This week, we're going to talk about one of what I personally think is just one of the most important topics, and that's security awareness training. We're going to talk about why it's so important to train your staff well and often on everything from data security to the latest cyber attacks and scams, and especially on what your policies and procedures are so that everyone knows exactly what to do when the criminals come knocking, because we know they're knocking every day, don't we?
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. So before we get too serious, do you know what time it is?
My favorite part of the session here.
Yes, it's time for our cyber joke of the week. All right, you ready?
Let's go.
Okay. What do you call it when your entire team attends a cybersecurity awareness training together?
Ooh, tell me. That'd be hard to do, but yeah, tell me.
It would. It's called a fishing expedition with a PH.
Ah, okay. Casting some reels.
That's right. Speaking of fishing, it's time to dive in. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, Marcus, we talk about this a lot. We know that people can be a business's weakest link or their greatest line of defense. And I am pretty sure I've looked it up, and the statistic is that 95% of cyber breaches are caused by some form of human error. And so to me, we can have all the latest and greatest security tools and the cybersecurity monitoring in place, but if a person is socially engineered or tricked into giving credentials or letting the bad guys in, they're in. And so I want you to talk to us today just a little bit about why we focus so much on educating people.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that obviously we talk about internally at our company all the time.
Mm-hmm.
How do we help our customers, users be more vigilant, be on top of things? So, and so the first reason here that, the regular cybersecurity awareness training is important is that employees really are that first line of defense. And training them to help recognize, whether it's a phishing attack or, a malware on their computer, something seeming, not right, and being able to report that is going to significantly reduce the risk of security breaches and, them happening in the first place or the longevity of them. Second reason here is employees, they handle a wide array of different sensitive data. So helping them understand the importance of the data that they're handling and how to protect it, where that data exists, where it's going, and helping them understand the criticality of that data is another thing that training can help with.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 here, regulation. So industries, or certain industries are going to be subject to regulations that are going to mandate the security training. So things like GDPR, HIPAA, PCI compliance, all these things are going to require employees to go through some sort of cybersecurity training. So it's going to help you stay in compliance. Number 4 here, regular training is going to foster that culture of security that we like to talk about a lot.
Yes.
When employees are aware of the best practices, they can, they're more likely to follow them. They're more likely to talk about it and kind of be, and encourage their colleagues to do the same.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned with human error, number 5, the leading cause of security breaches is human error. So training is going to help employees understand the impact of their actions, whether it's maybe allowing a breach to happen or just deleting a critical file or, making sure that, all of these things are, that they understand that their errors can cause, things, downtime to the business and things like this, or lead to a security incident. And then number 6, the training is going to equip employees with the knowledge of what to do in the instance of a security incident. So like I mentioned, being aware of okay, this looks like something not good is happening on my workstation, or and being able to report that, just escalating issues, things like that can lead to faster detection and response and minimize the potential damage.
Yep, timing is everything. Those are all really great reasons. And to your point, we know that we see it, that these cyber threats are constantly evolving, and that regular training, it makes sure that people are up to date with what the latest threats are or what the scams are that are coming in. And of course, that just helps keep the company's security posture strong. And so, I'm the non-technical girl. I'm always thinking of analogies that are non-technical. And I think of cybersecurity awareness training as kind of like teaching employees to be neighborhood watch members, right? So the company is like a small town and the IT department is the police force, but police can't be everywhere at one time. So just like a neighborhood watch makes a town safer by increasing the number of eyes that are looking out for trouble, security awareness training keeps a company safer by making sure everyone's alert and proactive in protecting the organization. You think that's a good analogy? Does that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it does kind of take everyone. It takes the culture. It takes the mindset of the organization to really keep it safe.
Yeah. I feel like security awareness training can sometimes get a bad rep, though. Maybe it's like this one-time thing when you first come on board, or it's this annual day of training, and maybe people think of long, boring videos, but that doesn't really have to be the case anymore. Employee awareness training programs have come a long way, especially recently, because I feel that trainers and company leaders have realized that we're humans, and sometimes we can get desensitized and we can zone out on things like cyber attacks because they're just happening so often. We say it all the time. Times really have changed, and you can hardly read the news without hearing about one of the biggest data breaches. It seems like I get new notifications every month about my personal information being exposed. AT&T, Frontier, even my mortgage company. Those are just a few of the most recent ones. And honestly, I've noticed an influx in my email and text scams since then. In fact, I have a couple of examples that illustrate this that I wanted us to talk through here with everybody. I just want to show people up here on the screen. These are some actual scams that I've gotten. And this one is from Marshall Webb at lieptofunds.com. First of all, I don't know Marshall. I don't know LiPTO funds at all. So you've taught me to look at who the email is coming from. Mm-hmm. The topic is an account update. So it sounds like it's about one of my accounts. And it's thanking me for my recent application, which I haven't filled out any applications. It's telling me that my request has been reviewed and it's being processed, and it wants me to log in. It wants me to click this button and log in to view my updates. So all kinds of red flags here, right?
Yep. Like you said, look at that domain. If you don't recognize it, just that can be the first place you look. And then from there, you can see that there's other red flags. So,
yeah. And then let's see, I have another one here. This one is talking to me about my application. It came from Hunter Winters at Vacation Mod, which I haven't planned any vacations. It's thanking me for my interest and telling me that the team has reviewed my submission and moved my application to the next step. It wants me to double check my information by clicking this link. Again, super fishy. I mean, honestly,
this one shows kind of the anatomy of every or most phishing campaigns that we get. It's, looks urgent, looks like, oh, I just updated information. Let me click on this and see what it was.
What's going to happen if I click on that, Marcus?
They're either going to try to get you to enter credentials on a web page, or you could go to a website and it does a drive-by download of malware or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I could go on and on. Here's another one I got. These were all like within the last week. It's so crazy. This is, first of all, it's addressed to James. My name's not James. I don't know a James, but it's asking me to complete my request. This one has to do with money, and it wants me to use an e-signature. Also on this one at the bottom, it says click here to unsubscribe. Now, typically what I've been doing, I don't even open these. I just immediately block the sender and report spam. But I can see someone saying, oh, I'm just going to unsubscribe. I don't want to receive these anymore. I don't know what they're about. But even clicking on this unsubscribe could be dangerous. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you should trust anything in those emails, especially if you don't know the sender. So, like Google in your Gmail, you can unsubscribe from their interface, or you can just block and report as spam.
Yep, that's what I do. I've been blocking and reporting spam. Here's another one. Thanks for reaching out. We're working on your request. Click here to verify. So I think people get the point here. First, we want to look at that URL. I don't know this person. I'm not expecting this email. The URL is fishy. I'm not clicking on any unknown links, and I'm not even clicking to unsubscribe. I mean, that's security awareness training 101.
There you go. That's it. You're learning.
I am learning. I'm getting better. Well, fortunately, I do my employee awareness trainings regularly, even though I got one today telling me I hadn't done my training in 2 weeks. So that's on my to-do list today. But, I was able to spot those. And so what are some other ways a company can, keep their employees engaged and keep them from tuning out? Because I'm getting these so much, I'm almost desensitized to them. So what are some ways we can keep employees active and engaged?
Yeah, I mean, and there's I know you mentioned kind of burnout, but there's a variety of different ways that you can stay in front of your employees, keeping them engaged, and it doesn't always have to be the same type of training. So, a few options to consider. Interactive workshops where it's more engaging. The materials, you can ask questions in real time. The benefit here is that it encourages active participation, and you can immediately clarify any doubts that they may have about the security training itself. E-learning modules is another option, and that's pretty common. You can do the training wherever you're at. You don't have to be in person or anything, and you can do it at your own pace as well.
Yep.
These would include videos, quizzes, interactive content. Obviously, the benefit here, flexible, scalable. It allows employees to learn at their own convenience.
We use those. That's part of our training. I go through the videos and the quizzes.
Yeah, and we have like a one-time annual training and then like micro trainings every week. So it's not and it's not repetitive, for most people. So another option would be phishing simulations. So you can have automated phishing sent out. And it will help employees' ability to recognize and respond to those phishing attempts. So, just more repetitions is going to help them identify, just like you, Melanie. I mean, you're able to see those before, immediately. You can see that something's off there.
Yep.
It's going to provide practical hands-on experience and highlight the importance of staying alert. Another thing, just regular newsletters and updates with the latest cybersecurity news. So again, it can be a little bit redundant and repetitive when it seems like every company that we associate ourselves with or give our data to gets breached. But it's good to know. And then again, it just stays top of mind, something that people talk about, and it's going to be helpful for the organization and their posture. And then finally, just gamification and gamified learning is going to incorporate kind of scores and games into the training programs with challenges, leaderboards, and you can even reward employees for achieving things in the gamified learning modules. So, and this just makes it more fun and engaging, and it's going to obviously increase participation and keep your employees coming back.
Yeah, I love the gamification stuff we have in our security program. I mean, I like seeing who's on the leaderboard. I'm a little competitive, so it kind of motivates me to get my act together, like right now, and I need to catch up on my training. I know that the guys in our office are ahead of me right now, so I kind of keep up with them. Okay, so now we know some different ways to train people. Let's talk about what kind of things make up a good training program. Obviously, this is a culture thing that we're creating from the top down. And if the company and its leaders have a security first mindset, there's a much better chance that employees will too. I find a lot of times many of the people I talk to don't actually know what to do or who to tell if they think something suspicious comes through an email, let alone know what their role is in the company's like incident response or disaster recovery plan if an actual attack happens. And of course, that's even if the company has a documented plan. So kind of back to the original question, I know there's a ton, but what are some things that companies should include in a security awareness training program?
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point that people understanding what their role is in cybersecurity, how they can help, protect the company is huge. So, and make sure everyone is well informed and ready to help.
Yep.
Is pretty key. So, it might include something like an overview of the company's security policies, the employee responsibilities and their expected behaviors, whether it's bringing your own device onto the network or it's, I noticed a phishing email here. What should I do with it? So having those things documented where they can follow is definitely something that they should be trained on. Yeah. Understanding the different types of cyber threats that the organization may face, phishing, malware, ransomware, social engineering, things like this are going to be important. And then actually social engineering is its own, thing here. So what are the tactics and real world examples of, social engineering that has worked on a user of some sort?
Yeah, because we've even talked to our own help desk guys about social engineering, because that's become a hack where criminals are attacking or chinking away at the armor of help desk.
Yeah, and you think about like a finance person, like how do I verify that who I'm sending money to is that person?
Yes, especially financial.
Variety of things. So very important to be trained on password management and password management practices. So how do you create strong passwords? Are you using password manager? Training on how to use that password manager, training on multi-factor authentication, why it's important, how to use it. Next one here, just how to identify phishing emails. We talked about it before.
We just did. Yeah, we just did.
Yeah, so repetition is going to help them identify. If you see something, say something.
Yes, I love that. See something, say something. We do that all the time, even in our chat with our company chat. If I all of those little scams that I got that we just showed, I showed them in our team chat. I'm like, I'm getting this scam. I'm getting that scam. Everybody be aware. I'm seeing something. I'm saying something. I think we learn from each other.
Yep. And, if it's something that is legitimately bad, then obviously you can report to the right person. And if it turns out to be benign, well, you're still working on it and, alerting someone. So it's a good practice.
Yep.
Another thing they can be trained on, just recognizing safe and unsafe websites. The URL can obviously tell you a lot. And then best practices for social media usage. You can obviously train on how to lock your accounts down so only your friends can see it and stuff like that. So those are important. Secure use of company devices, mobile devices, and regularly updating software. Again, this is going to be, policy based. Do you allow, personal devices on your networks, or if it's a company-owned device, what are the uses that are permitted for that device? Another thing, remote worker security. That's obviously very common nowadays.
Sure is.
If it's not just, everyone in the office, maybe it's a hybrid situation or fully remote. And just, securing home networks is going to be important in that aspect, or ensuring that, they're only connecting to your network on a secure device.
That's right.
And then finally, incident reporting and response. Again, policies, procedures on incident response so that people know how to report or escalate an incident.
Yeah, because like you said earlier, to your point, timing is everything. Like reporting knowing who to report it to and knowing what to report immediately, that's going to limit the blast radius and take what could be a really big incident. And the faster you report it, the faster it can be contained and dealt with.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, that was a great list. There, it's an exhaustive list, but I think that's a good start. Of course, all of this has to be done though, like on an ongoing, regular basis with, like we talked about, that engaging content that reinforces learning and makes sure everyone knows about the latest threats. Because, times have changed and cyber attacks are way up. They're happening every day. And I honestly do believe though, if it's done in a way that kind of recognizes and rewards those good security practices, it does encourage that culture of security. And at the end of the day, that's the goal, right? Kind of back to what we said at the beginning, people are the biggest risk, but they can also be the greatest line of defense if trained well. Yeah. Well, this has been a great cyber conversation. Is there anything else that you can think of to add?
No, I don't think so. It's been great. Yeah.
Well, thank you, as always, Marcus, for helping to educate us and helping us to understand how to protect our businesses and ourselves. I hope everyone has found value in what we've discussed. If you have, you know the name of the game. Please engage by liking, commenting, and sharing. It helps more people see the content we create, which means more businesses and the people behind those businesses are safe, which also increases the overall cyber resiliency in our country. And if you need help creating a security awareness training program at your company, or just if you need help getting like a cybersecurity solution in place, reach out. Schedule your free strategy session with our cyber team today. IT Architects has stood by our customers, defending them for over 20 years, and we want to help you too. Until next week, 12 noon Thursdays, we will see you on the safe side.
Bye.
Bye, guys.